Welcome to the Profits and Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women entrepreneurs and professionals to achieve their personal success stories that include joy, fulfillment, and balance. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease, be successful, and enjoy your life. My happy place is spending as much time in my PJs as humanly possible. And I want to help other women find their happy space while running profitable businesses or having a successful career. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello, it is Coach Danni D with the Profits and Pajamas podcast, coming to you, reminding you about creating that balance in your life so that you can have a successful life that is holistically successful, right? We want to make sure that we are including all of those areas when we think about success, that we're not just focusing on the business, the career. We're actually being well-rounded. We are enjoying our lives, our families, our friends, our adventures, right? Okay. So today I want to come to you and I want to talk about restorative rest. As you know, normally the podcast episode comes out on Wednesday. This week, it's been kind of busy, right? And that happens. Sometimes you're in seasons that are busy. So if you've been watching, paying attention, you know that I have a summit coming up that is actually birthed out of the podcast. So the summit is it's with several guests from the podcast. We did an anthology project together, right? So we have a book that's coming out on March the 24th. I know. Like I've been booking y'all to death, but I'm done for a while after this one. So we have an anthology project that is amazing. Like I just finished reading last week. I read through all of the ladies' entries as like a collective book, and I was so full. I was so absolutely full, and I know that reading this book is going to be game changing for so many women who feel like there's no other way but grind, right? So that's the anthology project that we have been working on, and it releases on March the 24th. On March the 27th, we're going to have a summit here in New Orleans. It's going to be a one-day summit, and we're going to have many of the podcast guests that were in the anthology and a few that weren't in the anthology, but are a part of this community that is railing against hustle and grind culture. So that event is going to be game changing as well, because the thing I love about all of my past guests and myself is that we are action oriented. So we're not just gonna give you high in the sky ideals. We're gonna give you actionable steps to start moving in that direction, right? I said all that because that's why y'all didn't get a Wednesday episode. You didn't get a Wednesday episode because between that, and many of you know I have a balloon business as well. I had a couple of events this week. Between the two, I just was busy. I just was busy, and I had to make a decision. And that is a part of it, that we have to start making decisions instead of this push through mentality, right? So to make a decision, and the decision was I can't move. And so y'all can get a Thursday episode and it's gonna be okay. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Restorative rest. I said, oh, well, when I get back in, it's gonna be a late release episode. I'm gonna record it and put it up Wednesday evening afterwards, right? I did not feel like that when I got in. When I got in, I was tired. And I knew that I wouldn't give you the best version of myself in that moment. I also knew that with a summit coming up and a book releasing and, 10 authors and all of these other things that are going on, I needed to be restored for today so that I could do the things that I need to do today. So I want you to start listening to your body because your body will tell you when it needs rest. But we have learned to ignore it. We've learned to push through it. We've just said, oh, I just got to, I have to X, Y, and Z. And I'm not saying obligations don't exist. I know you have to, go to work and feed your kids and do all those things, but we need to start rethinking our process, right? Like it is very fine and well to give those kids some fast food on a day that you can't do it, right? It is fine and very well. Sometimes you have to take a sick day or a mental health day. That's fine. We have to start prioritizing rest as a part of a process, not as a bottom out. Because what we do is we just keep going until we can't anymore. But when you bottom out, one, you're not in control of when that happens, where that happens. You're also not in control with how long that lasts, right? But if you are building in rest to your daily routine, you're always resting. It is mapped in. For instance, like when I know I'm going into a busy season, right? Like, um, I knew this was, coming. Now you can't always predict when it's gonna, like the tiredness is gonna catch you, right? But let me use a different example. In my balloon business, there are a couple of back-to-back large events that we do in May. I know for a 2 to 3 week period, it is going to be very busy. And I want to pause there just for a second because I think a lot of times when people think about work with ease or getting to that place of, where you're not booked and busy, they don't think about, like, they think that that means that you're never busy. I'm often busy. And busyness looks different to everyone. So, my busy may not be the same as your busy, right? But neither here nor there. Okay. So I know I have that structured period where it's going to be busy. That is a season that's going to be busy, and I know it ahead of time. And there's certain things that I put in place to accommodate that. One, I limit my other things during that time period. So even with this, like I was talking to one of the people on the team for the summit, and she has some really, really great ideas about, promoting the summit, about some things to do at the summit. And I had to be very honest with her. I loved her ideas. They're amazing ideas. But I can only agree to these ideas if you are going to spearhead them or be the lead on them. I will do whatever you need. I will get you whatever collateral that you need, but I'm at capacity right now. So for those particular things, I don't have the ability to take them on. That's the same thing with me and these events in May. I don't take other orders during that time period because I know I have these things and I know these little small things are going to burn me out. So that's one tip. Another tip is to structure your work in a way that it includes downtime. So I know for one of the events, they typically do um however many, columns or whatever, right? I I I'm gonna do four at a time. I'm gonna do four at a time. So I put that on my schedule. I'm gonna do four right here. I'm gonna do four right here. Because it gives me a break from it. But the production schedule is laid out to where over time they're gonna all be done, right? I schedule time after the busy season to just be, right? And so that's why I said I want to use that example instead of this example because there were a few things that kind of like blurred into each other in this season, right? Because there were a lot of projects going on. But even in that, I gave myself time, like the time between um the end of December and I didn't start the new year until the 15th. As far as really pushing to get things done. I gave myself that break because I had done a lot of stuff and I needed that time to rest and restore. So, you know, in between, right? Like yesterday, I was doing stuff during the day and I said, nope, I'm not going to stay up. I'm not working anymore, clocking out, and I'm going to bed early so that I can come back on a fresh mind and execute. Too often we skip that part because we just want to get it done or we just want to get more done. Here's the other thing about that. And as you progress, you'll learn this to be true. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. When you are rested and when your mind is rested, you get more accomplished. So we think we're pushing through or we're adding more stuff and we're skipping rest to do more. You're just doing trash work. You're really just doing trash work. And a lot of times you end up having to redo that work or repair that work because you push through. Whereas if you went to bed and you came back and did it fresh, for instance, one of the balloon jobs was a um, balloon drop. And the night before, we were inflating balloons. And it just seemed like it was moving like molasses. And both of us were kind of tired. I had, gone to an event that night. So we both were tired. And it just seemed like it was just dragging. And so I said, okay, we're going to do this much and get to a stopping point and we'll do the rest in the morning. We went to sleep. We woke up the next morning and it was the same amount because we did about half of what we needed to do. It was the same amount of work and we got it done in half the time because we were fresh, because we were rested. So I want you to start thinking about how you can incorporate incorporate rest in your daily life and in between your busy season. Start thinking about that. And, if you are struggling in any way with the concept of rest, restoration, how can you leave this grind culture, right? I need you to pick up a copy of the anthology. I have the link in the show notes. If you're able to get here on March 27th, I need to see you in the seats. I need you to sit in front of these wonderful ladies who have shared their stories in the anthology of how they've redefined success. They're all successful, and success looks different to each one of them. And you can have a unique success story as well. So I want you to be able to experience a different way. I want you to be able to see that even though to you right now, in this moment, it may not seem like It's possible. It really may not seem like it, and I've been there before. A different version of myself would have been like, girl, look, there's too many things. There's no way. But this version of me and seeing all these other women who I love also living in this way lets me know that it is possible. It is absolutely possible. Every woman in that anthology is a receipt. It's a receipt of the fact that it is possible to have success on your own terms. So, again, get in the seat. Get in the seat. If you can get to New Orleans, if you are in New Orleans, I need you to get a ticket, get it while it's on early bird, because I want you to get it at the lowest rate possible. Come on, get in here, get a seat, bring a friend, because it's always better to journey with friends. And in that ticket price, so in that ticket price of the summit will include a copy of the book. So if you sit in that seat, you're going to have a copy of the book, as well as be able to interact with the women who have done it. So you can ask your questions, you can get their insight. We're going to be doing a live podcast episode. So just like we do the annual episode where it's a panel discussion, we're going to do that live. And you get to ask questions. You get to ask the different people questions. You get to be a part of the podcast. You listen all the time. And if you're like me, I know you want to like say something, because I know when I listen to a good podcast, I want to say something. I have opinions. So here's your opportunity. You know we're going to feed you well. It's New Orleans and it's me. We're going to feed you well. So I want you to get in that space. I want you to start creating your own path to success, and a success that does not drain you, a success that does not, take everything out of you, a success that does not require you to wear the Superwoman cape, because girl, if you don't set that on fire, it is time. So I want to see y'all in New Orleans. I can't wait. It's limited space because I want it to be an intimate experience, especially since, this is going to be the first one. Because I know once y'all experience it, y'all gonna make me do another one. But I wanted it to be intimate space, so it's just 50 women. So you better get in while the getting is good, because I don't want you to talk about, well, I wish I could. I don't want to hear it. When you see all these relaxed, hydrated, lotioned up women, and you wishing it could have been you, I really don't want to hear it, because I told y'all first. I told y'all first. I told y'all first. So get your tickets to the summit. If you can't make the summit, go pre-order the book. Go pre-order the book, because then you can have, if you're doing on Kindle, you can have it on the 24th. You can have it. So just make sure you get yourself together. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Outside of that, y'all know we rotate between the calendar detox and the capable confident challenge. Check that out in the show notes. I'm gonna leave y'all with that, because I told y'all I rested up because I got stuff to do. I have to make sure that I have every detail prepared. So when you get here for the summit, you can have the most amazing experience. All right. See you next week. Thanks for listening to the Prophets in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with these. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. For more information about creating balance in your life, register for my upcoming calendar detox challenge at CoachDanniD.com. Don't forget to subscribe, join the community, and book a call to find the workflow program that best fits your needs.